you and your folks and Tyler come to my house and stay overnight, have dinner.
That's cool.
I said, well, no, thanks, but we got a motel anyhow. But the next day, I went over to get my car. I had it all ready. People in Oklahoma are very, very nice people. It's very homey. You find that in a lot of, it's gone through my cousin Kevin, he's the one that's editor. He hitchhiked out here one time, and he said the same story, the amazing people you meet through the country.
Yeah.
The great majority of them are great people.
It's interesting that was a time, there was a time when driving cross country was more popular, but now it doesn't seem.
It's hard to meet people like in the Middle West who've never seen an ocean. Never seen the Atlantic Ocean or the Pacific Ocean.
Mm-hmm.
Some of them probably never saw a body of water.
Well, I've never seen real fields, like lush pastures, so it goes both ways. I haven't really.
Yeah, well, driving, that's what's nice about driving out. You go for hours and hours, like through cornfields, miles and miles of corn. It's just amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Especially the northern route. The climate's much nicer. Southern route, it's too hot and muggy.
What about New Jersey? What did you...
Great state. Great state. The garden state. It's amazing. At Los Robles Hospital, I volunteered there. One of the volunteers, Dennis, is also from New Jersey. And every time we see somebody and we hear their accent, we ask them where they're from, and they're from New Jersey. It's amazing how many people are from New Jersey in Los Robles Hospital. Doctors and nurses, we talk to them all the time. I was in the elevator one day, and there's a nurse in there with me, and I'm talking to him, and a patient comes in on a gurney, and he was out of it, way back, So I'm talking to this nurse. I said, isn't it amazing, all the nurses and the doctors that come from New Jersey in this hospital? So this guy gets up, he says, I'm from New Jersey. He looked like he was dead before that. As soon as you heard New Jersey.
He came back to life. Wonder why that is. How so many... That's a weird coincidence.
I don't know. It's just odd. And New Jersey's not that big a state, but boy, there's a lot of people here from New Jersey. And Dennis, the volunteer I told you about, he lived in Paramus, which was about maybe 5 miles from where I lived. And we used to go to the same bars, the same skating rink, Paramus skating rink. And we talk about this, and we're the same age. And we're probably standing right next to each other many a time. And his uncle owned a riding academy. And I used to go to take the horses out and warm them up at this riding academy. And it was owned by his uncle.
That is a small world. Didn't you meet a woman from that was in Germany around the same time as you two?
Who?
Was it
That's you.
a woman that you met at the hospital that was from Germany?
Germany?
Or you ran into somebody that could have been on the same boat that you took over there?
Oh, no, she's one of our... she's our boss at the volunteers. She came over on the SS Argentina, and I went overseas on the SS Argentina. And when I had R&R, when I was in Germany, they sent me to England, and I went to a hotel there to get a room, and the guy says, well, he says, we have a list here, he says, of places you can go. So he gave me a name of somebody, and I went to the address, and there's a couple that had a son in the army, and they took in GIs. And then, of course, they gave me my meals, and so they were very nice. So I asked him some place to go. And he said, why don't you go down to Southampton? It's a nice little fishing village in England. And there's a nice train ride. So I got on the train, rode down to this fishing village, and on the train I met this girl, this English girl. I got acquainted with her, and when I got to Southampton, that night I took her out to dinner. Then I found out that Ruby lived in Southampton, and she's about my age. And I said, Ruby, that could have been you.
Could have been.
And she
Yeah.
married a GI. She married a GI and came over here.
Wow.
It shows you how relationships go.
Sure. A lot of people were getting married right after the.
Oh yeah, a lot of GIs married English girls, and German girls too.
So there wasn't like any resentment towards Germans amongst the GIs then, if they're marrying German women.
You wasn't supposed to fraternize with the Germans at all, but we did. Everybody did. But
Because they have nothing to do with.
no,
the
they
war.
were. I thought they were great people. I mean, I get along great with the German people. You can't blame them for causing the war, you know.
Huh.
And we went down one time when, this was right after the war ended, and we went down to this Raskella, and they were playing all this German music. And people are singing, German music going on, and when we walked in, everybody stopped. It was real quiet. So the guy I was with was a guitar player, and he got a guitar and started singing German songs. Then all of a sudden, everybody joined in,
That's
and then we were accepted. You know, and we had a great time. I was treated wonderful by the German people.
So the German people, they thought they were not supposed to like Americans, but in fact,
yeah. Well,
but it's just
we had some tough times because during the war we used to go into a village, and we used to search all the houses to see if there's any guns in them. And we used to do this like maybe 2 o'clock in the morning. Break into the doors, break the doors down, go in the house, and somebody, we used to feel bad, some old couple would be laying in bed there, you know, but you still couldn't take any chance. You had to go out and clean out these houses. And then there was a curfew. It was 8 o'clock curfew. And I still remember we used to see somebody on the street say, "Acht Uhr, get in the housing." And they had to be in the house by 8 o'clock. If they weren't in the house by 8 o'clock, we'd arrest them. And a couple of times, some guys got shot because you tell them to halt, and they won. They start running, and
probably younger people. I mean, was it like more the youth, the youth in Germany that was resisting? You know, like younger people. Was it usually younger people that that would not obey the curfew?
no, well,
Not necessarily.
some of the troops that we captured, the SS troops and Gestapo, they were hard to deal with. They still thought they were, you know, big shots, and they weren't. One time I was standing guard at one of these internment camps, and we had them. There's an area barbed wired, and we had them. There's a SS barracks, and we had them all in there, and we kept them in the barracks. And this was a rainy night, and I was on guard duty in a little shack, and there's one SS guy used to walk down to the fence in the pouring rain, and I had to go out and watch him because I couldn't see him from where I was. And he kept coming down. I had to keep going watching him. But finally, one of my lieutenants came by and he says, "Why are you standing out in the rain? I said, "Well, that guy down there." He said, "Well, let me take care of it." He walks down there and he goes over to the guy, takes the butt of his rifle and punches him in the stomach. He didn't come down anymore.
I thought that was interesting. I remember you told me there was a writer, a sports writer, that you knew of.
Oh yeah. This was he was an English sports writer, and he happened to be in Germany when the war broke out. And Hitler knew about him, and Hitler used to read his column all the time. So Hitler had him sent up in the mountains, in a cottage, him and his family. But I think it was his wife and daughter, wife and daughter and him, and all during the war they were up in the mountains in his cottage. And when the war ended, they sent me up there to get them and take them to Le Havre to take them back to England. So I spent about 3 or 4 days with them. But it's an amazing story that Hitler liked this guy because he read his column.
Wow.
And he's saving them from getting hurt.
And he was an English guy?
Hmm?
He was an English guy.
English.
Yeah.
English sports writer, yeah. That guy, I don't remember his name. But he was a nice guy. Good location.
There's something else. So what did you like most about LA when you arrived? What was it about this city that was so appealing, apart from work?
I could play golf all year round.
Yeah.
That's the main thing. In fact, on my job, I worked every day but Saturday. And I told my boss, I'll do any job you give me, no matter when, no matter what time it is, except on Saturday when I play golf. I said, you got to give me that day off. So he never gave me an assignment on Saturday, because except one. When the Baldwin Dam broke, and I was playing golf, and I just got done playing golf. He knew where I played, and he called me. He said, you got to go up and get some pictures of the Baldwin Dam. It didn't break yet. He said, it's about to break. And we found out about it because they came out and said, anybody who lives in that area to go home because the dam's about to break. And nobody knew who the Baldwin Dam was. Nobody knew there was a dam up there. But it was. It's about probably about the size of the Coliseum. A big arena like a dam was filled with water. And I went up to take pictures there. And when the dam broke, boy, it just wiped all the houses out. Took cars and threw them up against telephone poles, and it flooded the whole area up about. All Baldwin Hills was all flooded to about 3 feet of water. It's unbelievable.
Wow. Where is it exactly? Where is that?
Oh, that's on, I guess La Brea, Jefferson Boulevard, I guess.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
If you take La Brea all the way, so.
Yeah.
One sec.
And usually, in Baldwin Hills is the first time I had problems with. Usually, you get along well with the police. And that time I had problems because they wouldn't let me go. I told them I had to take pictures. I'm a press photographer. I had to get pictures. And this guy was giving me a hard time. And he wouldn't let me go in. So finally, I just said, I said to go to hell. I walked right by him. I'm surprised he didn't shoot me, but he let me go. And the other time I had trouble, I was hired by Howard Armisen to take pictures of all his friends' house. And he was making an album. And on the cover of the album, a photo album, was the people's house. So I had to go all over California and take pictures of all his friends' house. And that was tough. I had to go to Palm Springs. I've been chased by dogs and everything. Climbed over fences to get to. The one time I went up to this house, this woman's name was Salvatore. And I'm out there taking a picture of her house in Beverly Hills. And these two guys, house servants, come out. And she comes out with them. She said, why are you taking my picture of my house? I said, Mr. Salvatore, there's nothing to worry about. I said, I'm a photographer. I said, here's my credentials. I showed them. I said, I just have to take a picture of your house. I said, I can't tell you why. She said, I want to know why you're taking a picture of my house. I said, I can't tell you. I said, because it's a reason, but I can't tell you why. She said, I want to know why you're taking it, and you better tell me or I'm going to call the police. So I said, I'm sorry, I can't tell you. So goes in the house, and here comes the squad.